Yeah. I need a wee again, I've just been.
You're not ticklish, are you?
Don't, I swear to God.
How long's the programme? Is it 10 minutes or 15? Is it 10 or 15 minutes of programme?
Don't know. I think you're 30 seconds under whatever you are, so you might have to chat. I'll let you know.
We'll have a bit of banter about the weather, won't we, our Charles? Hello and welcome to Quays News with me, Matthew Taylor.
And me, Charlie Hitchens. On today's show, we visit Old Trafford for an update on Sir Alex Ferguson and head to Piccadilly Gardens to see the aftermath following a disappointing returfing of the grass. First, Sir Alex Ferguson remains in hospital but is no longer in intensive care. The news that he suffered a brain hemorrhage on Saturday cast a shadow over the sporting world, but the former Manchester United manager has now begun his recovery. The club released a statement saying that Sir Alex Ferguson no longer needs intensive care and will continue rehabilitation as an inpatient. Earlier, I asked fans if they thought that the news would affect the team's morale ahead of their game this weekend.
Definitely, yeah. From what I know about football, I know he's a big part of United's culture and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely. I think it'll affect them, but I think they'll want to do well for him. If that makes sense. So, yeah.
No, I don't. I think the teams will kind of want to do a good job in terms of Alex. I think the thoughts will be with him, the fans and so forth. But they'll want to perform well for the boss.
The club and family continue to ask for privacy as he begins his recovery process.
Workers at two train companies walked out on strike yesterday over the role of guards.
Rail, Maritime and Transport Union members at train operators Northern Rail had gone on a 24-hour strike.
RMT union workers at two train companies walked out again yesterday in a dispute over the role of guards. The union argues passenger safety will be put at risk by getting rid of guards.
If you are travelling on this date, please plan ahead.
We run a 30% train service. The longer these continue, the more damage that the RMT union is doing to the city's economy, especially the target special events that are taking place.
To be honest, I've wasted money today. I'm supposed to come down to do some sessions, some studio work, but I've not been able to do it. I mean, it's like expected to 4 now, and yeah. The workers are worried about their safety. I think that maybe Northern should review the changes.
The latest walkout follows earlier walkouts in March, January and September, which also included employees of other operators, including Merseyrail.
There's been an offer to the RMT that we will guarantee a second person on the train after 8 o'clock every evening.
The union planned to stage a series of strikes at South Western Rail later in May, but suspended the industrial action pending talks with the operator.
There's been a lot happening in the world of business today, so let's go over to our business desk with our business editor, Jack Merriman. Jack.
Yes, that's right, and perhaps most surprising is the announcement that BT are going to lose 13,000 jobs this year in a bid to streamline the company and make it more cost efficient. This estimates to save them about £1.5 billion over the course of 5 years, and this comes after their scandal in the Italian branch of the company, which lost the company £500 million. It affected the stock markets today for BT after their shares dropped 8% this morning.
So what does this mean for the people of Manchester?
Well, really, it's unclear at the moment what it means for Manchester, but 13,000 jobs is a lot of jobs, so we can expect to see some of the Manchester jobs to be lost. This is bad for the local economy, as jobs being lost leads to less money being spent, which leads to more jobs being lost. However, it's not all doom and gloom, because earlier on, the Bank of England announced that they were keeping the interest rates at 0.5%. This is good because you don't have to pay interest anymore, despite the current rising inflation.
So what does this mean for people borrowing money, Jack?
Well, really, Matt, it's funny you should ask that, because it's good, because if you've got a mortgage, you're not really spending any more money on it, because the inflation is at 0.5%. However, if the money does go up, like experts expect it will be, because there are 8 opportunities across the year to rise the inflation, it's bad for you because it will shoot up inflation and you will owe a lot more money.
And how is the stock market looking today?
Well, BT announcing the job loss didn't really affect FTSE 100 or FTSE 250. After they had a steady day, it was about 0.02% rise on their interest rates. Toys R Us closing earlier on in the week had a negative impact over Morrison's, because the retailers have had a bad Easter time. But Sainsbury's, this is unsurprising after Sainsbury's and Asda's recent merger. However, Next had a good bank holiday weekend due to the good weather, so it's not all doom and gloom.
Yeah.
Great. Thank you, Jack. It's not been a good few days in Manchester for the Manchester City Council and residents around Piccadilly Gardens.
Yes, following the scorching weather, the area has been left unwatered for days due to a problem with the sprinklers. Our reporter Ian Quayle went to see the aftermath.
Once a relaxing green space in the centre of the city, Piccadilly Gardens has seen better days following a disastrous attempt to re-turf the area. Manchester City Council have been left red-faced after the sprinkler system failed on some of the hottest days of the year, leaving the newly placed grass dried up and dreary. Local councillor John Connor Lyons called the incident a shame.
Such a shame that the sprinkler system was damaged that resulted in the grass not being watered. Thankfully, the council responded quickly enough and removed the grass. The Piccadilly Labour team are campaigning for a permanent police pod.
Passers-by didn't seem fazed by the returfing of the area, but some saw it as a blight on the place where they work and live.
It looks terrible right now. I'm not here that often, I don't come here, but when I do notice that it is kind of muddy, so I guess it's good if they want to returf it, but it feels to me like they keep doing this, there is constantly change happening here, and it never sticks, so it feels like they're wasting money.
Council were out this morning pulling up the old grass and are hoping to resolve the situation as swiftly as possible. Ewan Quayle, Quays News, Manchester.
The family of a girl from Swinton are trying to raise tens of thousands of pounds to send her abroad for treatment for the curve in her spine.
Caitlin Moss is a keen gymnast and loves karate, but her family fear treatment for her double scoliosis will stop her being so active. I've been to speak to Caitlin and her mum.
I've been doing gymnastics for a year, and my karate, I've been doing it for 4 years. I'm at Advanced Silver in gymnastics, and I'm going for my black belt.
She is going for her karate black belt this Sunday. After that, an even more important fight. Caitlin needs treatment for the double curve in her back. It's a fight she needs to win.
I turned round to look at her and she was on a certain angle, and I noticed that one shoulder blade was protruding a bit more than the other one. So obviously that to me didn't seem normal, so I had a look properly at her back and we noticed that her spine wasn't completely straight.
Adolescent idiopathic scoliosis is most common in children aged 10 to 18 years. It hits hardest during growth spurts and currently affects 4 in 100 adolescents. Treatment is free on the NHS, but the treatment that would enable Caitlin to keep competing costs around £45,000 abroad.
When you know that your child is out of your hands after bringing her up for 14 years of her life, and then they turn around and say, well, this is something that you can't control, it's not a great feeling. But we're getting through it. We're trying to be optimistic and be positive about things. But she's been brilliant. She's kept me going, to be honest. Sorry. She's kept me going.
Caitlin and her parents are due to fly out to Germany in the next couple of weeks for a consultation. Her fighting spirit means she'll keep battling to get the treatment she needs. Matt Taylor, Quays News. It's been a wonderful week in weather here in Salford, and we're hoping it's going to stay, aren't we, Charlie?
Yes, hopefully. Let's find out. Here's Pian with the forecast.
A very good afternoon to you today, and I can confirm it's not as warm as it was last weekend. Although it does remain sunny today, there will be a gentle breeze with some highs of 14 degrees. Following a sunny evening, it'll be dry and chilly through the night. Tomorrow it'll be a mainly dry and cloudy day with the risk of some light rain towards the evening. And the outlook for the weekend, if you're thinking of heading to Old Trafford for Manchester United's final game of the season, it is looking a great deal better with a mainly dry day and lots of sunny spells.
That's all from us today. Tune in tomorrow for more news.
Be sure to stay up to date with @QuaysNews on Twitter or visiting quaysnews.net. That's all for now. Goodbye.
Goodbye.